I'm back. My last upload was May the 1st or something like that. The 31st. Wow, it's been a while. I was worried how far my rock bottom was going to be. Where's rock bottom for me? And you would never have seen it. I'm very good at hiding it. No one would have ever have seen it. My dad said it from day one, lonely hotel rooms, man. Getting locked in that room is not fun.
Local authorities say he fell from a third-floor balcony. The head of the state emergency medical system told local media that police were called to the hotel.
In the days before his tragic passing, One Direction singer Liam Payne faced a series of personal and professional struggles. His publicist had resigned earlier in October, leaving him without essential guidance. His ex-fiancée, Maya Henry, recently began legal proceedings against the singer after she accused him of repeatedly contacting her. A source also claimed that Liam's 8-year-long music career may have felt like it was crumbling at the end, and it must have been absolutely devastating for him. One of the most crushing blows to Liam's career came just days before his death when he was reportedly dropped by his record label, Universal Music. His second studio album had also been put on hold. A source told the Daily Mail that Liam's advance was massive and he didn't recoup it. So out of all the One Direction boys, he was on the wrong path musically. Now in a statement, Universal Music Group did say that they were devastated by the tragic passing of Liam, and his legacy will live on through his music and the countless fans he inspired and who adored him. They sent their deepest condolences to Liam's family and loved ones. Fans of the One Direction star had noticed Liam's bizarre behavior during recent appearances, which included attending his former bandmate's concert in Argentina just days prior when he was asked to stop dancing by a security guard. Another worrying video shows Liam looking strained as he greeted fans, signing autographs and singing his song Familiar, as critics commented on the clip that he looked out of it. So just days before his death, Liam was filmed at Niall's concert, very much dancing erratically. He was in a private box, but he was very much making a show of himself. And the video, which has been widely shared on TikTok, is kind of worrying. At one point, Liam was leading a Macarena routine before the gig started, but a lot of worried fans noted that the guard was like, "Okay, dude, come on, get a move on." Fans have now called his behavior a sad cry for help. One user in the comments wrote, "This was a cry for help, I'm sure of it." While somebody else agreed and replied, "Finally now people are saying this, but it's too late." Earlier this month, Liam shared a bizarre video on his Snapchat where he claimed he and his One Direction bandmate Niall needed to talk. Sharing a video from a bed, Liam spoke about how he was going to see Niall in concert in Argentina, saying, "Niall Horan's playing down there, and I think we might just go and say, hello." He continued, "No bad vibes or anything like that, but we need to talk." And one fan asked, like, is he okay? Like, genuinely? Somebody else was saying that they hoped Liam had people who cared about him around him. A source said to news outlets that Liam's behavior has been concerning to many in his inner circle for months. For a while, things seemed to be looking up for him, but over the past year, there are fears he is spiraling. He is no longer around some of his old friends as he's relocated to the States to start a new life out there. Everybody wanted the best for him, but things were erratic to say the least. Liam had been in Argentina with his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy, before she departed to come home. So on October 12th, Kate flew back home to Florida, telling her TikTok followers, "I was so ready to leave. Love South America, but I hate staying in one place for too long. We were supposed to be there for 5 days, it turned into 2 weeks, and I was just like, I need to go home." Fans of Liam shared unsettling videos of his last days and hours, as he greeted them during his trip to Argentina. So in one TikTok video, the singer greets fans outside his hotel looking very wobbly on his feet, telling one fan, "That was a really big squeeze." In another, he poses for a photograph before furrowing his brow and looking downward. Despite making jokes with fans, saying, "I feel like you're trying to make me say something rude," when they were just speaking to him in Spanish, there is very obvious concern that Liam was not in a good headspace and this was a spiraling out of control situation. A woman known only as Rebecca, who had a half-hour chat with Liam in the hotel lobby, described him as desperate to be recognized. To a queue of guests waiting for the elevator, she claimed he announced himself unprompted, shouting, "I'm Liam," and nobody else cared. And then he returned to the lobby with his laptop. And Rebecca's assuming that he spotted some sort of email that upset him, because suddenly he took the computer, shouted, "F this S-word, mate," and started bashing the computer on the ground. The singer's out-of-place behavior shocked onlookers in the high-end hotel, but Rebecca was just like, "Dude, are you okay?" And she explained that he just kind of grunted. And then he said, "I used to be in a boy band, that's why I'm so effed up." Shocked at his admission, she saw him get back in the elevator before a British guy apologized to the group on his behalf, saying Liam gets so high sometimes. She added that he fell over when he returned to the lobby, and staff had to help him to the elevator. Speaking of which, a search of Liam's hotel room uncovered a lot of things, a lot of substances, all various ones, destroyed objects, furniture. Photos from the hotel room show traces of a white powder, burnt aluminum foil, empty glasses, a smashed TV. There's been so many substances that I can't name them. Apparently the reception head pleaded to emergency services on a phone when they made a call saying they had a guest who's off his head on substances, destroying everything in his room, needs somebody to come. After the call cut off, an employee called again saying that they didn't know if the guest's life was in danger, and they added that they were worried because the room had a balcony, they were afraid he might do something. They were begging anybody to send an ambulance. Hotel residents described hearing loud and violent noises coming from Liam's room in the hour before his passing. Speaking to the BBC, fellow hotel guest Doug Jones said he thought they were working on the room, like there was a lot of noise, heavy lifting, banging. That's what he assumed. He then saw hotel staff going into the suite where Liam is believed to have been staying, and he said that he saw hotel people going in and out of the room, so once again he assumed they were just doing work on that room. And then the loud noises returned. He heard a really loud, violent scream around 4:45, 5 o'clock. The police arrived just before 5 p.m. but reported hearing a loud bang from the courtyard as they arrived, and then the tourists said that the road was full of cops afterwards as the full tragedy began to unfold. In recent years, Liam has suffered a series of bizarre on-screen appearances, most famously a strange interview after the 2022 Academy Awards when he was asked about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on stage. Now, the exchange with Liam left a lot of viewers scratching their head when he answered in a valley twang before admitting he hadn't been on US soil for 2 years. So in a video posted to Twitter only 6 days prior to promote UNICEF's soccer aid, he spoke with his normal British accent. And at the time he was weighing in saying like, oh, there's 3 losers in 1 fight. He, said his piece, said his commentary. He reminisced on his friendship with the 2 men, mentioned how long he'd known people, who was his neighbor, but a lot of folks were still confused by the whole accent switching thing. Not only did his words confuse viewers, as his analysis of the situation was broadcast on a lot of TVs, once again, what's with the Valley Girl accent? The clip quickly generated almost as much interest as the onstage incident itself, and Leah was in the middle of an internet storm. He later clarified that he'd had a lot to drink on the night in question, but he added that he's a social chameleon whose accent is ever changing depending on who's around. He's just like, oh no, I'm normally good at accents. This isn't the only weird interview. During an interview with Impulsive back in 2022, Liam once again worried fans when he took aim at his former bandmate Zayn Malik, causing a lot of backlash. Liam suggested that his solo career had been the most successful of all the band members, claimed One Direction was formed around him in the first place. When asked for his thoughts about Zayn, who had left the group first, Liam branded him a D-word and discussed a post by Malik's then-girlfriend Gigi Hadid about her partner was respectful. Now the comment was interpreted by fans as a reference to the allegation that Gigi's mother Yolanda made, saying that Zayn had shoved her into a dresser and called her some bad words. Liam continued to talk about Zayn, saying there were many reasons why he dislikes Zayn, but that he will always be on his side because of Zayn's alleged tough upbringing. If he had to go through what Zayn went through his growth and whatever else, he just mentioned that his parents are very supportive to the point where it's annoying at times, and he's like, oh, they don't mind me saying that, and then Zayn had a very different upbringing. Well, the criticism over all of this was so fierce that Liam tweeted a public apology to Zayn later that year, saying he had a chip on his shoulder, he took it out on everybody else. He added that he loves his boys, which he's obviously referring to all the One Direction guys, Niall, Harry, Zayn, Bluey, and he mentioned that the criticism had led things to go quite dark for him. He didn't leave his house for 3 months, but that's all folks on this. See you next time.